Phil Karlton, formerly of Netscape, once said there are only two problems in computer science: cache and invalidation of naming things. In CSS, as in computer science, naming stuff can be really hard. Even when you're using frameworks like Bootstrap or Foundation, or methodologies like object-oriented CSS, Max, or BEM, they may not provide names for your elements or in your project. But naming stuff is really important when we're writing code that's easy to read, easy to maintain, and can scale to large sites as we should be. Maybe you've given up on this. Maybe you've got to the point I have and just said, can't someone else do it? And the answer, my friends, is yes. Yes, they can. In fact, there are whole groups of people who've been doing all the hard work for us, coming up with names for everyday web objects and things so we don't have to think for ourselves, which is awesome. By adding extra semantic markup using recognised standards like Microformats, RDFa Lite and Microdata, we can not only solve the problem of what to call things, but we can add extra utility to the things that we're doing. So we can add metadata to the markup. I shouldn't lean on that touchpad. That's what I'm doing. We can add metadata to our markup, to our site's contents, which makes it more findable by search engines and more useful to other tools. So the first one, probably the easiest one to look at, is microformats. Thank you. Microformats uses a system of class names that add extra meaning to your elements. The classes are not just easy for us as developers to understand, but they are understood by search engines and will be displayed in search results. For example, I can mark up contact details. It's mine, not my real phone number. Or mark up an address. And I can embed the address as part of the contact details. There's a whole system of classes for people, places, events, recipes, reviews, and so on. While microformats use class names, RDFa Lite and Microdata use their own attributes. The parent element references a URL of the thing's schema, in this case a person, and either uses the property or item prop attribute. So using RDFa, we can mark up contact details, addresses, and as with microformats, we can embed the properties inside each other. Microdata was going to be part of the HTML5 spec, but isn't anymore. Microdata seems to have been developed because people had forgotten that there was such a thing as RDFa, and they went, oh yeah. So now everyone's backing RDFa. But I've left it in here because microdata is still used in the wild. And it's still recommended by Google and is supported by other search engine vendors. Now, you'll notice that in both RDFa and Microdata, they both reference a site called schema.org. And this is where the magic happens, because schema.org is an Aladdin's cave of elements which describe things. People, places, events, recipes, reviews, and so on. There are names for pretty much everything, including things. It's not the only source of schemas. You can use Open Graph, Dublin Core, Friend of a Friend, and many more, or you can write your own, but you probably won't need to because there's so much stuff there. But enough with the HTML semantic thing already. Where's the CSS? Once all the groundwork is in place, the CSS is easy. Just select the element and style it, same as always. Use the microformats classes, or use attribute selectors for RDFa and Microdata. Or as in case of the Lexis site example, you can use the class as well as the attribute.
So by adding semantic markup, we've made our site more useful, and we have a ready-made naming system to help make our CSS easier to read, maintainable, and scalable.